Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 6. Taking another look at Alch Capone, Riki Blinders in their Game 2. Last time, Alch Capone picked a bunch of heroes with 40% win rates and won anyway, because they also picked Riki, and Riki is really balanced. Riki Blinders are not going to let that happen again. I think I agree with them. If they had picked any other support on Alch Capone, I don't think there's, like... Well, I mean, maybe. I don't want to say there's no hope in hell, because I do feel like half of it was just Riki Blinders just did not play their comp well at all.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Let's see what happens this time. Once again, Riki Blinder's going to be thinking very hard about their second ban here.
Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Lena.
Ultimately, very traditional bans. Ultimately, Riki Blinders running the first pick Lena again. Ultimately, I don't know if I agree with that decision, to be honest with you. I think you just accept you have one less ban and just get rid of the Lena here, honestly, on RB. You gotta get rid of it in some capacity. You cannot let the Lena through, or else you're just gonna lose. But clearly, if there's one thing I think you kind of learned from the last game, you can't run it either. Chris really just not attuned to this hero in any real way.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Alch Capone going to pick an identical offlane this time. If I had to give Riki Blinders one piece of advice, at least pick a different hero for Rada. Because that Undying and Rada, they did not go well together.
10 seconds remaining.
See how it goes.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, they had the opportunity to snake the Riki here themselves, which I think I would do. Well, no, they don't, because they first banned at MVM.
Dire team ban.
Tiny coming in.
Radiant team ban.
Not the biggest fan in the world of Tiny right now.
Dire team ban.
Alch Capone are calling the bluff that Chris is going to be running it again, which probably isn't a bad thing to do. Honestly, I would. I think my first assumption would be it's going to be Carp this time, right? Like, you're not going to gain much by running the Chris Lena again. I don't think.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Apologies for that brief silence there. That wasn't my mic or anything, just you know, getting messaged by people in the middle of a recording. Because, you know, having to do this at active hours, it's gonna happen sometimes, you know? PL Visage, Spectre Kunkka, all going down here. Kunkka. Again? Just using that? Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, listen, I promise you. Well, I mean, I was about to say, I promise you, just let it through and you'll be okay. But I mean, like, they got walked all over by like a 40% hero in a bad match for her anyway last game. So, like, who knows? Just ban whatever, I guess.
Radiant team ban.
No Timber Saw. Not here, not now. So that's a step up. That's like a 45% win rate right there.
Radiant team pick.
Get rid of the Faceless Void again.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
How Capone putting a lot of thought into this next pick. I mean, can't blame them. This is probably the hardest pick to make on the entire board.
Dire team pick.
And they've gone with a Winter Reverend, which is kind of ironic if you think about it. It's a pretty good answer to the Lena. Also pretty decent against the Tiny if it's a core. And really convenient if they're both cores. Because, you know, you ult the Lena and then Tiny just kills her.
5 seconds remaining.
The one downside is that Popsicle, your heal, will be of absolutely no value this game. You just use it on somebody and they're just going to die instantly.
Dire team pick.
Riki Blinder's going to bring out the Rubik, going to be able to turn that exact power back against them in a slightly nastier way. So far, this is like a god tier Rubik game, so that's pretty good. It's also going to be a good
10 seconds.
steroid against some of the more common pause ones that are going to be
5 seconds.
happy with the Lena matchup.
Radiant team pick.
Behold the horn of Magnus.
They're going to take a Magnus this time. They no longer want to just stun through BKB one person, they want to stun through BKB everybody.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The one downside for Winter of Vern is that it's starting to look a little bit. Okay, got the Drow on Al Capone. Starting to, which means they probably statistically are going to win this game now, but you never know. The Winter Wyvern ult might not be much of a factor in this game because it's like, it's kind of hard to see two people on Riki Blinders being close enough to each other to actually get hit by it,
5 seconds
basically, so far. You know, maybe you get Tiny and Magnus in there, but that's like the best you're going to
Radiant
get.
Team ban. Dire team ban.
There goes this.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Blinder's gonna take most of the time out for the last ban there. Gonna ban out Puck, which will be a brilliant ban if it had happened 2 days later. Assuming it's Carp, as for the last ban, which, I mean, it could be. But I do have a feeling, this funny little feeling in the back of my mind, this is a little more likely, perhaps, to be Chris picking here.
10 seconds.
It's certainly what I would do. I just... it was so uninspiring seeing the Chris lead in the last game. I just don't think I would let it happen again. I don't have much time to think about this. Three, two,
Radiant
no.
team pick.
Bounty hunter.
Huh? Well, that's a little baffling. Maybe it's going to be Chris Tiny, perhaps, I guess, maybe? I don't know, I'm just hoping here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Al Capone have a minute and 20 to think about their last pick. Hopefully, if they value this cast being any good, they pick slightly faster than that. The Bounty Hunter, that's a confusing pick. I really don't see exactly what you get for it so far. Besides, you know, letting there be somebody who is both vulnerable to the Wyvern and the Primal Beast and the Drow Ranger here. Like, I don't know. It's going to be a tough game for him. He's probably support. I would be very surprised if this wasn't pause 4 or 5 bounty. It's going to be a very hard game for him in any case, though. And I don't really know what he does for you besides just give Track Gold and a mini stun. Which, I mean, hey, if you're confident, right? But, yeah, that's really something here. I guess, hypothetically, early on in the game, he can just kind of close with Drow and just beat her up, take a good chunk of her health off, disable her passive, but
You may now select
gonna
your
bring out the
heroes.
Windrunner. Oh no, it's gonna be the Chrysalina again. Oh god. Yeah, I'm not really too enthralled at the idea of this matchup for Riki Blinders. This looks like a much worse comp for them the last game, but then, last game the problem wasn't that their comp was bad, they had a pretty good comp actually, it's that they couldn't run it. So maybe we're trading off a little bit of good comp for actually being able to run it here? Could be, I suppose. The bounty, though, I feel like that might be... I feel like they really needed a better last pick than that. I feel like they really should have just... I don't know. Maybe I'm a doubter, but I really just don't have terribly much faith in Chris suddenly having learned how to play this hero in the space of the last, 10-15 minutes perhaps between these two series. Enough running away from Roche. At least Dusty's last Magnus game was a win.
Prepare for battle.
It's an interesting statue name. Let's not read that out on air. Hey, look at some more statues. That's another interesting statue name. We've already seen, of course, the Cow Punch. Oh, there's the most valuable plant. This patch, certainly. Slightly less, 2 days later, but, Probably the biggest thing is that outside of having Bounty Hunter be invis and stand next to her in fights, I really don't think that there was any kind of serious answer to the Drow. And I feel like, You know, usually you would have to say you have to have a serious answer to the Lena. I don't think maybe you do if it's being played by somebody who's not accustomed to the puzzle and Lena, unfortunately. Like, again, no flame towards Chris. He's performing like this because he hasn't done this before. He's doing something new here. Flame to whoever picked this for him, Dusty. But like the Drow, you're definitely going to need an answer for, and I just don't really think they have one outside of if they want to just drop like an entire RP on her head, basically. But then if you do that, what the hell are you going to do about the Windrunner? What the hell are you going to do about, like everything else, basically? Lots of laughing. There's one thing about this series will make you feel like you're going insane with all the random laughter going on. Also make Bounty Hunter feel like he has like 30% HP. And also make Winter Wyvern feel like she has no health bar when she's hitting Q, which is going to be fun for a casting perspective. Oh my god, it's double melee offlane versus double range safe lane. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, this is looking really bad already. Last game, the Capone lineup stomped with like these super non-meta, like 30% win rate heroes. This time, Kai is on like, you know, probably a top, like, has gone from a bottom 5 to a top 5 hero in this patch. Meth has gone from a bottom 5 to like a middle of the pack hero. You don't have answers really for either. I mean, like, hypothetically you do, but you certainly don't for both. And those answers are going to be coming out like once every 2 or 3 minutes, and are going to be hoping that nobody else on your team is awake. I don't know. This looks very hard for this lineup, but you never know. Might be able to turn something around here. I mean, at least Lee's just going to be bapping this tower now. You did change out some of the squeaky wheels. Like, I feel like at the very least, you know, the last game's Undying performance wasn't great. Rada is on a different hero, which is a good start, and he's on a pretty good hero in this patch, which is another start. And Bounty Hunter is just being a bully to poor Winter Wyvern, taking all of her money. So there's all that. Dusty is just like at 20% HP. I hope Dusty really enjoys being at like 30% HP all the time. That's basically what he's going to be in this lane. He is going to be a Sav fiend. He's going to look like an addict with the amount he's going to have to purchase to stay on the board here. Mickle going for the Soul Ring. Maybe he did this last time. Yeah, he did do this last time. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. I feel like there's not really a spell on this hero that you're going to be wanting to Soul Ring for, right? Just to, like, get Bassi or get Nully. Or not Nully, but get Bassi or get Null Talisman, right? I think that's the traditional thing to do, I would say. Time like this, Dusty is gonna use his salve that he had brought in to do a go and just end up right back where he started. Kinda getting a little pummeled here. He's gonna be okay.
Nope.
Nothing else. They do have one pretty decent size advantage. In the fact that Rubik has this attack damage reduction trait, which is gonna really stymie a lot of what Trample is gonna be bringing to them this lane. You know, you're already taking only a percentile amount of, you're already only getting a bonus of a percentile amount of your damage, so then you get a percentile of an even smaller number. It kinda sucks. Copeless wants to go hit Drow in the face, but instead loses like 70% of his health in like a second. Dusty at 20 HP as a Sav. Geist tries to knock it off with the split shot, but does not actually get it done. Copeless almost dead here.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Rubik's Courier randomly just gets killed. Very sad.
You and Mortimer can play together.
The good news is that Primal Beast and Mortimer can play together, so there's that. And Copeless is dead. In fact, it's a double kill on this offlane. And then everybody in this, just tips go flying around all over the place. Oh, thank God.
No, take that.
Now Lena's gonna get walked on. The trample's just going to get interrupted immediately. Hey, Pohohoro still plays his old Snapfire. There we go. That's at least one person in the league not using the young Snapfire skin. I didn't even think about that till now. Oh, Kai misses the last hit. Completely washed. Probably the best news so far for the Riki Blinders, at the very least Tiny, who's probably going to be their real win condition in this game in any case. Is doing okay for himself in mid so far. He's not really close to what the Drow Ranger is doing, and in fact isn't really that close to what Wind Ranger is doing either. But at least he's, you know, relatively close. He's on the board here, which is good. Chris is also on the board, which means, again, if he is miraculously played 300 more games between last game and now on this hero, and really gotten the ins and outs on everything in the past 10 minutes, then that could also be good. Meph going to eat a tree. It's quite a heavy thing to eat. Definitely want to leave at least some room for dessert, right? Speaking of eat, Copeless was very close to eating a big plate right there. Is still going to be just sitting here in the trees at like 30 HP. It's awful. This is like, I'm shocked Dusty even has this many lasses, to be honest with you. This is like a nightmare scenario offlane.
No go for you.
Kinda got himself some treads. Rada got himself some dead. Phase Boot's coming out relatively soon.
What have we here?
Gonna help the Primal bridge the Fade Bolt gap there a little by at least compensating for his lack of damage by having more hits. 3 guys here, a bot. Warcarp has shown up. Unfortunately, Dusty's just gonna die immediately. Yeah, this is not looking great for them so far. If Carp just kind of dies here, this is pretty disastrous. Luckily that sounds came out a little late, but it is not going to help. Bounty Hunter tried to get cheeky behind the lines and just got power shot for it. The upside is Primal Beast just randomly died for no reason. And Lena didn't even use Laguna to get it done. So, you know, there's that. Okay, Kai is just gonna walk up to the tower here, just take a few shots to the face for no reason. Still actually in the danger zone here. Only needs to eat that other tango at the very least. There we go.
Dire's bottom tower is under
You
attack.
did it in the end. You're gonna get to have some power play time here in this off lane for at least a minute, just on the grounds that the Wyvern is just totally out of mana here, and Drought's not got that much more. Funny combat music. Both people in both supports in this top lane getting hammered. Neither one of them actually dying. Honestly, I'm shocked Mickle didn't just turn around there and just eat her, honestly. And now I guess he's considering it. Wait, why am I not doing exactly that? Answer is 'cause Tiny's here. And now he's probably dead. Nope, never mind.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, well that's very awkward. And also gives Windrunner just some free time at mid. While Tiny was at least staying on the board for a while there on his net worth chart, that attempt to go bot and just untimely death has not made things look good. Dusty wants Meph here. But man, this is awkward, they're just not gonna get her! Okay, they are, never mind. Gonna get her with that at the last second. Very weird. They have two different ways to make Windrunner just go under their tower. They elected to do neither of them, and they in fact elected to not deny the tower either for some reason.
Tower has fallen.
Very odd, but what can you do? Still probably good. Still probably for the best. Just randomly taking out the
Dire's
Windrunner there
bottom tower is under
at a
attack.
pretty opportune time.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Probably not going to stop this T1 bot from going down for the Dire, but you know.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, Meph's just gonna randomly die again, but I mean, if they just equally randomly get the kill on the Lina here, like they do, it's pretty much of equivalent value.
Don't mind if I do.
That could potentially be greater, as that has now moved it to the point that it is a lateral gold advantage in favor of the Radiant Cores. It's 12 minutes already. I'm struggling to think exactly how. I mean, this is probably a worse situation for them than the last lineup was in theory for the Dire, or the Alch Capone line of the last game. Let's just take some free hits here. Maybe take a free death here? Yep, just gonna get completely... No? Nope, that's fine. Power shot gets him down. Just gets completely shredded.
Dire are scanning.
Drow has found a salve. She might end up needing it. Rainbow of TP's coming in. It's a really good Wyvern ult. Well, this certainly sucks. That looked like such a good go on the Drow. They really could not deal with the retaliatory TPs there. And as a result, both of these guys are dead again. As a result, Magnus is getting dangerously close to where Winter Wyvern's net worth is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Magnus completely falls off the face of the earth this game, and it's really hard to say there's any chance for these guys. I mean, if all he's gonna do is just blink in and die in a half second every fight, that's not the best situation for you. Oh my god, Rubik stole the snap ult! Gonna do nothing with it, but he did steal it, and that is funny.
I'll take that.
Just show everybody what he's got.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant T1 bot getting shipped out here. Dire T1 top getting shipped out here. Drow getting looked at here. Kind of awkward for both teams. Probably want to get somebody down here for the Drow. They do have the Wyvern, but she's not exactly in a position to support anything per se.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, goodbye, Windrunner. She gets Lagooned off the face of the planet. Chris is consistently staying at the top of the net worth chart here. Not at the top, that's Sky. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to deal with that right now, but they're staying close to the top. Silence afflicting the bounty hunter there. Yes, they're missing a lot of skills, but that one's not going to miss. Maybe not the most well-advised TP there. Try to have the tiny jump on the Drow, but doesn't exactly work out that way. Tiny just going to casually go down. RP just gets completely wasted here. Lena showed up for this and is going to regret it right now. 4 for nothing. Oh no, never mind. Rubik stopped to ult, so make that 5 for nothing on the Al Capone lineup here. 1,871 gold changes hands, the majority of it getting split between Drow Ranger and Windrunner. Lena losing some money.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
14 to 4, 5k net worth advantage for the team that probably has it late. I mean, this game has a bit of yeesh written on it, to be honest with you. At least Lena got this dragon scale. Carp's just gonna randomly die here. Oh no, Magnus might just also randomly die here. Oh no! That's such a bad interaction for Magnus! Oh god.
Maybe it's a bait.
Oh, this could be really bad. Never mind, they're not gonna actually go on that for some reason. I think if Lena just dies in that moment, that's legitimately game over. Like, I just don't think there's any hope he come back from it at that point. Drow already has about $1.5 grand on her.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Geistonly currently showing where everybody on his team is. And where his vision is.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mickle just running over this lane bot though, just to get that back out. Lena just crossed the 10k mark and is now just going to eat this gigantic stacked ancient camp for her troubles. And get a pupil's gift, just as an added special bonus. She's gonna get done with this ancient camp like the moment it rolls over too, which is just even better. Oh, she's not actually gonna do it, so it's fine. Rubik stole the charge from the Primal Beast. Okay, that's the world's longest shackle. Carp going in behind here, trying to get rid of the Windrunner. Oh, they actually get it done too. Rubik, well, this is awkward. Rubik comes in from behind, takes the Windrunner out, dies for his trouble. No thanks to Mickle, who did everything he could to keep the Rubik alive, though it was ultimately not successful. Ultimately, even though they left a little bit more in getting that done, that was certainly a worthwhile encounter there for Radiant, or for the Dire, I believe.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This juncture, taking the Windrunner out like that, especially with the track honor, like such was the case, did just give them a pretty solid amount of gold and knock Meth to the bottom of his team as far as the net worth goes. Oh, bottom of this core lineup as far as the net worth goes. And Carp thinks that's just hilarious. Yeah, approaching on BKB here. Drow approaching on the Manta style here has just pulled out the Shard to make life a little harder for these guys.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Everybody just slowing down the pace of the game here, just having a casual farm festival. Tiny and some illusions in this mid, a couple of supports banting, but feels like most of what Mickle's done this game so far has just been to angrily charge at waves.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Again, just very casually, slowly farming out here. Oh, Primal Beast wants to have a little fun with Dusty. Dusty says hell no to that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gonna find Meth down at bot alone. Get him in a 1v3 scenario. That is his 9-second BKB, but they're gonna die for this. Okay, looking unlikely. Okay. One Wyvern coming in here, putting the popsicle on. It's not gonna matter. Dusty is, oh man, gonna miss a lot. Ultimately get the kill. That's probably fine. Rubik steals Lavernal, turns it around on them. Drow is here. So I'd say Lena knows what's good for her. She is getting out of this zip code right now. Seems like they're having trouble deciding whether or not they want to go on this. And Lena is no longer going to give them the option as a result, and is just going to BKB TP. Unfortunately, that was her 9-second BKB. Fortunately, she avoided the disastrous situation of her dying, but unfortunately, that was her 9-second BKB. Sure, going to take this DD to Roche. Answer is yes. Roche just between the DD and the armor break off the Snapfire, Roche is just going to die in mere moments. And Bounty Hunter is going to be in the unfortunate situation of passing by the Roche pit right when he dies and just getting shattered. Again, the bounty pick this game is kind of shaking out to be what I figured it would look like at the start of pick phase, which is to say, or when it got picked, which is to say, not great. Just really, really not sure what they think it's going to do for them here, and so far it's doing about that. Which is to say, I don't know what I think he's done this game besides track gold, but not much.
Is under attack.
T2 top just going to die in moments, nobody even thinking about defending it. Mickle wants to go shake hands with Lena. Lena is indeed going to appear on the wave. I don't know what he's going to do. She just BKBs and TPs like this. No. Forward from her team here. Her team's turning around to all look at a regen rune. Magnus going to just get shot here. They don't care about the Wyvernal at all. They just want to kill Tiny, and Tiny they're going to get. The Magnus going down, the Rubik going down. Everybody on this team is just going down without being able to do anything, it feels like, at this point. Like, let's, you know, you can see the entirety of the Dire did about as much damage in that entire encounter as Drow herself did. They got no kills. Drow is now 4K ahead of her competition in the form of Lena. Notably, most of the rest of Radiant's lineup, most of the rest of the Al Capone cores, also pretty close to where Lena is. The other two Riki Blinders cores are like a mile behind. Bounty Hunter, once again, fulfills his prediction by just dying after accomplishing nothing. 1, 6, and 2 is not... This is, again, probably the best support in this entire season. Now that Roxy's gone, actually, because spoilers, MS322 has no chance to make bracket. Now that Roxy's gone, you can say, I think, almost inarguably the best support this season. Apologies to some of you guys, but, like, this guy is nothing to mess with. He's looking like everything to mess with this game, though. They are going to try and send Drow as far back as possible. Try and get the double death out here. They're going to take the Aegis. This is an awkward spot, but they did drop most of what they had in getting just that done. They're going to take the Winter Reverm. They're going to lose Lena and Tiny. Artillery Barrage comes out. Takes out the Magnus as well. Rubik going to go down. Somebody do something about this Bounty Hunter, maybe? Yeah, there we go. 5-4 Wyvern plus Aegis. No buybacks on Riki Blinders.
Dire's bottom tower.
Mickle says thanks.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Mef goes for the wrong rack to hit in this case.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Luckily, it's not like this game matters at all at this point.
Dire's
First
bottom
lane of Rex is going to go down for free. Nobody's up in time to defend after the disastrous Aegis uphill fight. Guess it wasn't really properly for free as a result of that, but you know, they weren't able to make a defense even though they all kind of respawned at the end of it there. Trow's still at like full basically, just got butterfly now. All cores with a distinct advantage over their over their dire counterparts here. You got the funny combat music, even though two people aren't even close to each other right now. Windrunner tries to go for the funny shackle on Magnus. He gets nothing. Gets an Ags. So now you got the Invis Windrun, which, as we all know, is invincibility. In fairness, I really don't know exactly how much is the Invis part of that's going to help against a team with a bounty hunter on it, but at least the blind's going to be good against Lena, who is not even thinking about an MKB at the moment. Thanks, says Mickle. Bounty Hunter getting involved in the ward wars a little bit here. Playing his part. Did get the hell out before anything happened. And Trow finds a blast rig. Probably not exactly what she wants. Oh look, it's Randy's favorite jungle item.
One arrow, twice the punch.
Track goes out, Pahor immediately hits the dust button. Does not find anything. Tiny is using a pig pole, one of Vambrace, and a dragon scaler just in the item store. That's a bit interesting. Nobody's using the bullwhip either. Rubik would rather have the occult bracelet for some reason. Bit odd. Bit odd. And Cobble's just gonna get run over again. What's he at now? 1-8-3? Well, Beast has a Lotus Orb queued up so he can reflect, okay, Magnus just dies in a half second. So he can reflect the Laguna Blade. Rubik picks up the Primal Beast. Actually, they're gonna get him killed here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Unfortunately, despite their kill on the Primal Beast, they haven't killed either of the two cores from this team that they, like,
Dire's middle barracks
actually want to, that actually scale to some degree and are going to mean something here. And Tiny gives his life to try and fail to save Bounty Hunter. Probably not ideal. I don't know how you continue to be in this game and not call GG at this point. If I'm on Dire in this game, I cannot tell you anywhere I would rather be than not here. Just go next, baby. Just go right next. I'm gonna scan out Roche, but nobody's home. Lotus Orb up on the Winter Wyvern to match the one Mickle's about to get, I guess. Now they can reflect two Lagunas. I mean, I guess it gets rid of the track, but I don't know how much that does to you at this point in this game. It's probably not worth buying two Lotus Orbs for, I can tell you that much. It's a very fortunate situation here for Mickle. Okay, he's decided against the Lotus after all. You can kind of just go all in on whatever he wants, which is a nice, rare situation for Primal to be in. Ronnie at least got that Solar Crest. You always love to see that in an LD2L game. Which means you always love to never see that. Just, let's try to make this, jeez, I wonder how this game is going to end. Keep things, relatively slow just in case something happens before Roche comes up. Roche is now up, slaps Baharu on the head. Just, see it die in real time. Why not? At least give Roche the dignity of the death he deserves. Shard's gonna pop. He can get the funny rock throw on Primal Beast. That would be funny. Geist does not want to let that happen. Okay, never mind. Geist has been forced to let it happen anyway. I always love it when people act like the shard dropping off of the second Roche is a big surprise. Oh, they have one uphill left against an Aegis. Primal Beast is just going to be a meanie pants and just beat the hell out of Dusty. And Tiny is just eliminated. Instant buyback from the Magnus here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The old, we're not going to call GG, but we're also not even going to try to defend here. Magnus dieback. Tiny is also bot at this point. Wyvern ult just eliminates. Okay, never mind.
Dire's top barracks are under
Oh, mama!
Radiant victory.
Well, that was a total stomp. I mean, that's what game one could have looked like. I don't think this is the best version of Riki Blinders. I don't think. I don't know if Dusty really knows how to pick for this guy, for these guys. I don't know if he's I don't know if he knows Chris's number well enough these days to go for him. Once again, the Chris Lena just felt like it just didn't do anything. It didn't push. It didn't kill. It just existed. Once again, it felt like the supports just kind of existed to die. And once again, the I guess uniquely perhaps this time, rather than Tiny, rather than the Batrider and Lycan, who I felt like just kind of underperformed in the first series, this time you had the Tiny and the Magnus, who couldn't have possibly performed in this series. Drow had no answers and just completely dominated this game. It looked like that from pick phase, and it looked like that at the end of the game. Does this have any meaning or bearing on the actual Riki Blinders matchup on the bracket that could potentially happen? I'm going to guess probably not. I'm going to guess of a Riki Blinders lineup with White Joel Birch and the Mighty Midget looks a lot different than this. I think a lot of this genuinely was just Dusty has two supports on his table and doesn't know how to configure around them. Like, they're guys he's played with before, sure, but, even if it is Rada and Chris, who you won the big one with, it's still like, how do we pick around this? How do we make this composition kind of work? I don't think he ever really came to a good conclusion. I do think maybe the support picks both games could have been better, especially the Bounty. The Bounty was the biggest Dota pick maybe of the entire series. Like, Copeless died a lot here. Copeless just looked like a clown in game 2. Make no mistake. I don't know what world he doesn't like. This is the worst bounty hunter game in the world. So, I don't know. I think this is just stand-in moment. Hard to say. Either way, if you're somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. Still looking for stand-ins, still popping in-houses, still popping queues left and right and center. We'll be coming back at you soon with some more Week 7 games, so look forward to that.